Collaborations have always been a great way to bring two artists together to create something new that combines both their styles and their voices. It can also be an exciting moment for fans, especially when it involves another artist they also love, bringing both fandoms together. And there's been many great collaborations that people still talk about to this day, such as Telephone by Lady Gaga featuring Beyonce, Promiscuous by Nelly Furtado featuring Timbaland, Bang Bang by Ariana Grande, Jessie J and Nicki Minaj, Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars, among many more. But while these and others are loved by many fans and people, there's also collaborations that happen that didn't make that same connection, leaving a mixed reaction with fans and people not liking the song. Which takes us to today's video where I'll be discussing 10 collaborations that didn't have the expected reaction, starting with number 10. Me by Taylor Swift featuring Brandon Urie. The lead single to Taylor Swift's 2019 7th album, Lover, that was a beginning to a much brighter era after Taylor's last release, Reputation, that was a lot more darker. When asked in an interview with Capital FN on May 7th how this collaboration came to be, Taylor responded saying she had always been a big fan, and on her tour last summer when she went online, fans had told her that Brandon attended one of her shows, which she wished she would have known so she could have said hi. So after that, she thought if there's a chance that we can work together, I gotta make it happen. So when she wrote the first half of Me with Joe Little, they thought that this song would make a great duet, showing the confidence on both sides of a relationship, and that's what makes it fun. And when thinking about who would be great for the song, Taylor thought Brandon would be perfect because he got that kind of cheeky, playful kind of vibe that fits well with the song like Me that is playful and doesn't take itself too serious. And although the song was a success, peaking at number 2 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts, the song had a mixed reaction from people and fans who didn't like the song, saying that it sounded like a Kidz Bop song, it's too cheesy, it's too childish, and there were critics such as Stereo Gum that said, "Now Swift has a bad track record for her lead singles. Her last 3, We Are Never Getting Back Together, Shake It Off, and Look What You Made Me Do, are arguably the worst songs on their respective albums, so Me isn't necessarily a damnation for this whole new era. I still have confidence that she could pull it off, but this is a bad note to start out on. Me is basically everything is awesome without any of the irony, a soundtrack song to a Disney film." And then there was Velcher who said, "It's like Disney characters candy flipping, it's chipper almost to the point of self-parody." Where her Reputation advanced Taylor Swift's career by pushing her towards new molds and genres. Me is a nostalgic trip, it's back to basics, but it's also a touch basic. And one thing that most pointed out that they did not like about the song was the lyrics at the beginning of the bridge that went, "Hey kids, spelling is fun," which after some time had passed, because of the negative reaction that part got, on Wednesday, August 21st, 2 days after the release of her album Lover, those lyrics were removed from the song, and if you happen to have gotten that album, those lyrics were also removed from it, along with it also being removed on streaming and on radio. Unless you had purchased the single at that time before it got removed, watched the music video, maybe even got to watch a video with that version on it, then you still got to hear it. And although Taylor never confirmed why she removed it, there was an interview she did with the Hits Network, Carrie and Tommy, around that time when promoting Me in April, where she did explain why those lyrics were in the song, which she said, "So the lyrics, that's a tone decision that we made in the studio. We literally were like, okay, let's say, hey kids, spelling is fun, because we want everyone to know that this song is not really serious, because it's not like a serious love song. It's kind of embracing and owning that you, at times, feel like you know you're irreplaceable. I want those times to be more often when they hear this song. People hear this song and it gets stuck in their head. I think with a pop song, you have the ability to get something stuck in people's heads. And I just want to be a mantra that kind of is much more self-love than what we oftentimes feel, which is self-loathing and insecurity." 9. The Light Is Coming by Ariana Grande featuring Nicki Minaj, a promotional single to Ariana's 4th album, Sweetener, which on May 27, 2018, Ariana had shared a snippet of the song with only Nicki's part, making it their 4th collaboration at the time before later that year, another collaboration that Ariana did with Nicki that was titled Bed, released on June 14 for Nicki's album Queen. On Saturday, June 2nd, during Ariana's performance at Wango Tango, she debuted and performed a part of the song, which then the full song was officially released on June 20th, And though this didn't become an official single, a music video was shot, directed by Dave Meyers, who also directed Ariana's music videos for No Tears Left to Cry and God Is a Woman. The song peaked at number 89 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts, and although Nicki and Ariana had gotten praise for songs that they collaborated in the past, this release got a mixed reaction. There were critics like Random J-Pop who gave the song 3 out of 10 and also said, "I'm really baffled as to how this song ended up the way it did, because it had the recipe to be something hot, the drums are hot, the chorus is catchy, the entire vibe of the song is quirky. It's a new sound for Ariana, which is a pleasant surprise after the wholly safe No Tears Left to Cry, and this was not the type of sound I expected Pharrell to give her. The song should have been way better than it ended up being." Then there was also a bit of pop music who said, Ariana and her team obviously wanted to try something new for her, and while she pulls it off vocally, the final product is not convincing. There is a fine line between repetitive choruses being catchy and annoying and that sample push, The Light Is Coming, in the latter category. Overall, one of the reasons why many didn't like the song was because the man you hear in the background saying, "You wouldn't let anybody speak," and instead, it was described as throwing off the whole song. Which, thanks to Madeline Roth, they found out it was a sample that appeared on a CNN clip of a man shouting at Senator Arlen Specter at Pennsylvania Town Hall meeting in 2009.
You wouldn't let anybody speak. You handed on, 30 cards? Well, I got news for you.
Which, according to BuzzFeed, they had a theory that the quote used from Town Hall, which was later referred to by the media as Town Hall, helped The Light Is Coming convey a narrative of being unheard. BuzzFeed also pointed out it's almost as if the duo are encouraging those listening to come together and listen to the voices of others. 8. Karma Remix by Taylor Swift featuring Ice Spice, the third single of Taylor's 10th album Midnight, which when explaining how the collaboration came to be in a Spotify interview, Taylor said that Ice had reached out to her through her team, saying that she had been a big fan of Taylor since she was a little kid and would love to collaborate one day if something were to show up. And Taylor, who was already listening to a lot of Ice Spice, she got her number and asked if she would want to do a remix version of Karma. And that's pretty much how it happened. On May 24, 2023, while announcing the new Midnight's Till Dawn Edition Deluxe album, Taylor revealed the news about the Karma remix being out on Friday, May 26. And at that point, Midnight had already been out for quite a while, which before it was chosen as a single, the song had already had success, debuting at number 9 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. But now with the remix being released on May 26, it helped the song reach a new peak at number 2 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. The music video had premiered during Taylor's Eras Tour show in New Jersey, the same day that Ice Spice made an appearance to perform it with Taylor, and later at midnight the video became available online. And while fans were excited to hear the upcoming remix, they weren't too fond of it when they did get to hear it. There were comments saying that Ice didn't fit the song, the album version was better, they don't hate it but they just wouldn't hear it again. Not to mention some fans being disappointed about the controversy involving Taylor's rumored boyfriend, Matty Healy of 1975, who made comments back in February on an episode of the podcast named The Adam Fryland Show, where he laughed at jokes that the host of the podcast made about Ice Spice's ethnicity, along with laughing when the two imitated Japanese accents and etc., which the episode was pulled from Apple and Spotify later on. On April, he apologized for his comments and to Ice Spice while performing in Auckland, New Zealand, but because Taylor had yet to comment on the controversy, there was discussions going around for a while of the rumored couple disappointed in Taylor. 7. Blinding Lights Remix by The Weeknd featuring Rosalia. When the original was released, it was a global smash hit that took over the world, released on November 2019 as a second single off The Weeknd's fourth album, After Hours, peaking at number 1 for 4 weeks the following year in 2020 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. And while the song was having such a big success during 2020, towards the end of the year on December 4th, The Weeknd released a remix featuring Rosalia, a Spanglish collaboration with the same production and a different bridge which Rosalia sings in Spanish. And while there were some positive reactions of the two superstars collaborating, there was also a negative response saying that the remix felt unnecessary because the song already felt perfect the way it is. There were parts they love of Rosalia on it but not the full song, and while some did comment that they love Rosalia and her music, they didn't feel that this was a good fit for her. 6. On by BTS featuring Sia, a duet version of BTS song On that was from their album Maps of the Soul 7, released on February 21st, 2020. While there was an excitement for the collaboration as it was about to get released, when the song was finally out, many fans did not like the outcome, pointing out that the mixing wasn't done well. The collaboration didn't really bring anything to the song, and although Sia has a great voice, many felt that the song didn't fit her voice. 5. Lover Remix by Taylor Swift featuring Shawn Mendes, a hit song that was released as a third single off Taylor's 7th album Lover on August 16, 2019, peaking at number 10 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts, and later in the year, on Wednesday, November 13, in a video post, Taylor announced the release of the Lover remix featuring Shawn Mendes, someone who she's a big fan of and has been wanting to collaborate with.
And he has taken Lover and he's rewritten parts of it. And I also think that everybody would write a different love letter to their lover. And I think his take on it is so beautiful. I can't wait for you to hear it. I'm so excited about this, and I hope you are too.
That same day, Shawn also posted online with a caption giving thanks to Taylor for letting him be a part of a beautiful song. And while some fans praised the remix and even critics like Demo Magazine, who said it was a great collaboration that is perfect for the holiday, and hearing them sing the chorus together gave them goosebumps. But many were not pleased with the remix, saying that the original was already perfect, it didn't need to be a duet, they didn't like the newly rewritten lyrics, pointing out that the bridge part, specifically the Titanic line, along with some saying they felt Shawn's voice did not blend well with the production of the song. 4. Pretty Girls by Britney Spears featuring Iggy Azalea, a song that was released on May 4, 2015, originally written for Little Mix, but they felt it wasn't really for them, so they passed on it, and later on it was pitched and given to Britney Spears, which the girls of Little Mix were so excited and honored that Britney, an idol of theirs, will be singing a song that they got to co-write on. The music video was released a few days later on May 13, directed by Iggy Azalea alongside Cameron Duddy, that was an 80s inspired visual. And besides the song getting comparisons to Iggy's 2014 hit song Fancy, featuring Charli XCX, and Gwen Stefani's 2005 hit song Holla Back Girl, while there were fans and people enjoying the song and thought it was fun and catchy, it also got a mixed response, with others, including critics, saying the opposite, such as Album Confessions, who said, "There is something missing on the effort. It may be exciting the first time though, but in the end, Pretty Girls is sadly underwhelming. It falters from not sounding refreshing or groundbreaking enough. Gwen Stefani comes to mind throughout, but it should not have a problem bringing Spears back to the top of the charts. It's certainly a fun, enjoyable bop. The pairing was not a shock or surprise. The collaboration was welcome. It just feels that Pretty Girls could not possibly have been the best idea the two artists and their teams could have come up with." And then there were Scene Sisters, who said, "It's clearly going for a Barbie girl vibe with a dash of fancy, but it just doesn't make the kind of impact that is needed for the song to be truly catchy and a new classic. The track is also ridiculously short. With such a strong duo, there needs to be a considerable length to show off their talent, and although Spears dominates in a few verses, it seems a waste not to use Azalea's rapping to full effect and throw her some more verses. In short, the track needs to be longer with more balanced verse content." So the song ended up peaking at number 29 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts, but after 3 weeks the song fell off the charts, and while some were calling it a flop, the next month after its release on June 28th, during a Q&A on Twitter, Iggy responded to someone who said the song was a flop. "It's difficult to send a song off the charts without additional promo and TV performances, etc. Unfortunately, I'm just a feature," which some fans thought that she shaded Britney, and even the media had twisted up her words and started to make it seem like she had beef with Britney. But overall, after a few tweets on June 30th, she made it clear that her and Britney were still friends and hated the fact that the media tried to turn her and Britney against each other. All she wished was that there was more promo for the song because she really liked the song, and that it was a great experience getting to collaborate with Britney. And Iggy wasn't the only one who did defend the song. Little Mix also spoke up about the drama in an interview they did in October. One of the members, Perry, they didn't care who thought it was a flop. Britney sang on their song and it's not a flop to her. Perry also added, "I feel like Britney is the only one who can get away with that line. All around the world, Pretty Girls. They absolutely smashed it. They owned it." And before we get to the last 3, here are 2 honorable mentions. Boys by Jessie Nelson featuring Nicki Minaj, and I Love It by Camila Cabello featuring Playboi Carti. 3. Don't Call Me Angel by Ariana Grande, Lana Del Rey, and Miley Cyrus. A collaboration that was a lead single to the 2019 reboot movie Charlie's Angels soundtrack, a South woman in power anthem about taking control and not letting any man change that. According to Elizabeth Banks, who was the director of the 2019 Charlie's Angel film, on June 27th, while speaking to people about the upcoming film and song, she mentioned that the song was inspired by Independent Women by Destiny's Child, a song that was a lead single to the 2000s Charlie Angels movie soundtrack. The song was released on September 13 alongside the music video, directed by Hannah Lux Davis, who also directed the music videos Nightmare by Halsey, Into You by Ariana Grande, Love Myself by Haley Steinfeld, and more. And while there were some fans and critics who praised the message and were happy that the 3 artists collaborated on a song together, it also received a negative response, such as some saying it sounded like 3 different songs, while some did say they loved the 3 artists, they just thought this song wasn't good. Lana should have been more on the song, and then there were critics who also expressed their dislike for the song, such as Cherwell, who said, I love all 3 of these women and really wanted to love this song, but I can't escape the feeling of being unfulfilled and disappointed that a song that had so much potential ended up being another cookie cutter track, with clunky changes in tone and dull lyrics. The real problem with the song isn't that it's bad, Lana's part aside, it's just so basic when it could have and should have been so much more. And then there was Expos who said, most importantly, though the song is not cinematic enough, Charlie's Angels is more lighthearted than, say, a James Bond film, but it could do with the grandiosity that the 007 theme songs tend to have. Don't Call Me Angel sounds at best like a throwaway song on a generic 2019 pop album, and it is almost impossible to believe given the creative talents and ability to craft well-written songs all 3 singers have. For such an ambitious collaboration, this single should have been way better than it is. But regardless of the reaction, the song did peak at number 13 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. 2. Bad Guy Remix by Billie Eilish featuring Justin Bieber. So 2019 was shaping out to be such a great year for Billie as her success and fanbase continued to grow. Her song Bad Guy, the 5th single off her album, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, was gradually rising in the charts, with many enjoying it, which eventually peaked at number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts on August 24th. But before it became a number 1 hit, Billie teamed up with Justin Bieber to release a remix of the song, which was released on July 11th, and for the art of the remix it had a younger Billie with posters of Justin in her room, showing how much of a big fan she was of his growing up and still is to this day. And just as many fans were excited for this collaboration, no one was more excited than Billie herself to have this happen, which when she announced the news on social media, she left a caption that said, Bad Guy featuring Justin Bieber out now, oh my fucking god, anything is possible, man. Which then moments later Justin went on social media with a caption saying, so proud of you, Billie Eilish. The production was pretty much about the same. The main difference was Justin getting his own verse with new lyrics and a chorus with different lyrics after his verse. And although many were enjoying the original version, when it came to the remix there was mixed opinions, such as some saying it was a bad remix, Justin sounded auto-tuned, and one of the most common reasons is that Justin's voice did not fit the vibe of the song. 1. Girls by Rita Ora featuring Charli XCX, Cardi B, and BB Rexa, the 3rd single off Rita Ora's 2nd album Phoenix. The collaboration was announced on May 4th, 2018, set to release on May 11th, and on the day of its release, when asked in an interview she did with People, what message does she hope people take away from the song, she responded with, I think obviously the song is very impactful in its own way. It definitely has a point. For me, I've always looked at this song as a real gender fluid freedom record. I never looked at it as only females can listen to it or only males can listen to it. It's for everybody. It really represents freedom and the chance to be what you want to be, and there being no judgment and just living your life as you want to live it. That's what this song represents to me every time I hear it. It was really inspired by one of my favorite songs, I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry. That was the first song anyone heard of Katy Perry's, and it was such a statement. It was so fun. I wanted to do something that was in that lane. Which, keep in mind, earlier in 2018 on February, while Katy was watching fan covers on YouTube to songs of her on a video for Glamour, She did say that if she could, she would rewrite I Kissed a Girl.
I probably would make an edit on it. Lyrically, has a couple of like stereotypes in it. Your mind changes so much in 10 years and you grow so much. What's true for you can evolve.
People then proceed to ask Rita, for you personally, were you trying to share something with your fans about your own sexuality? Which she responded with, I knew people were going to look into it like that. I definitely said it because I can. And it was one of those things where if I was 50-50, I'm not saying I'm 70-30, I'm 50-50 and I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not hiding what I am, who I am. If I wanna do this, I wanna do that. That's just how it's gonna be. For me in my career, this is definitely the most open book I've ever been, if that's a word. I'm definitely an open book with this record, and I'm really proud of the support I've gotten with my fellow collaborators. And then when asked, would you consider yourself bisexual or fluid, she said, I think the way if people look at it like that, it's very narrow-minded, and I don't think that's what this record is. I don't think that even matters. And when asked, are you hopeful this song becomes a bisexual anthem, she replied with, definitely. I definitely want it to feel like it's an anthem to somebody. I want there to be a sense of freedom for anyone who listens to it, so I'll take it. The music video was released on June 6, directed by Helmi, but when the song was released, besides it getting a mixed reaction, it also got criticism within the LGBTQ+ community who did not see it as an empowering anthem, which singer Hayley Kiyoko went online and shared her thoughts on the song, saying, it's important for us artists to use our platforms to move the cultural needle forward, not backwards. There is a new song that came out today featuring a handful of well-known pop artists that has me overwhelmed with thoughts. I literally have a knot in my stomach right now. To be clear, I fully support other artists who freely express themselves and applaud male and female artists who are opening up more and more about their sexual identities. But every so often there come certain songs with messaging that is just downright tone deaf, which does more harm than good for the LGBTQ+ community. A song like this just fuels the male gaze while marginalizing the idea of women loving women. I know this wasn't the intention of the artist on the song, but it's a lack of consideration behind these lyrics that really get me. I don't need to drink wine to kiss girls. I loved women my entire life. This type of message is dangerous because it completely belittles and invalidates the very pure feelings of an entire community. I feel I have a responsibility to protect that whenever possible. We can and we should do better. Then 3 days later, Rita went online and posted on Twitter an apology which she said, Girls was written to represent my truth and it is an accurate account of a very real and honest experience in my life. I have had romantic relationships with women and men throughout my life and this is my personal journey. I am sorry how I expressed myself in my song has hurt anyone. I would never intentionally cause harm to other LGBTQ+ people or anyone. Looking forward, I hope that continuing to express myself through my art will empower my fans to feel as proud of themselves as I'm learning to feel about who I am. I'm ever thankful to my fans for teaching me to love myself no matter what. I have strived to be a contributor to the LGBTQ+ community throughout my entire career and always will be. Love, Rita. The Light Is Coming by Ariana Grande. I don't know, I just really wasn't feeling it, and really what it was that man in the background. That's really what it was, which I had to agree it was throwing off the song for me too. The Karma remix by Taylor Swift, it was fine, but it's just not a remix that I would ever hear again. I would just rather hear the original. The Lover remix by Taylor Swift featuring Shawn Mendes, I do want them to collaborate again on another song. I feel that this song just didn't really need to be a duet. I don't know, I just really didn't like them to collaborate on this song, and it could just be because I was just so used to the original. But like I said, I would love to see them collaborate again, but on a whole new song instead. Don't Call Me Angel, I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I do like it. It did grow on me, but it's not, seeing how it was 3 of them, I was like, oh my god, are we gonna get a Bang Bang? Because I love Bang Bang by Jessie J, Ariana, and Nicki. That song was like an instant favorite of mine the first time I heard it. So every time I see that there's a collaboration with 3 artists, I'd be comparing it to that, which is probably not good. Like, it just kills the hype, right? It's fine. I do hear it here and there. I do enjoy it, but it's not like my my favorite song. The Bad Guy remix I did not like. I heard it once, never heard it again, and since I did do this video, I decided let me hear it again because it had been a while, because that song is so dark and it has like this haunting, creepy type of feel to it, and I just feel that it just doesn't really suit Justin's voice. I would love to see them, just like with the Lover remix, collaborate again on another song, maybe something more like The Feeling, the one that he did with Halsey on his album. The Girl song was not my favorite. The Blinding Lights remix, it was alright. They did do a collaboration later on. It was pretty cool to see that they collaborated on another song. I think that's a good example, is that they did later on. Just like I said, when it comes to the Lover remix, Bad Guy remix, if they collaborated on another song, I think it would be so much better. But yeah, those are some of my opinions on the song, and it did grow on me. It was not a favorite of mine the first time I heard it. So what are your thoughts on this list? Do you agree with the criticism these songs got, or do you think the reaction was overhated? And if you did hear these songs back then and I like it, did your opinion on the song change now? You could share it down below in the comments. And also wanted to give a shout out to Natty Gallardo 9106 for requesting this video. If you're interested, I did talk about artists that I would like to see perform at the Super Bowl, which you can watch right here, and also did a video about radio custom version songs that artists would do for specific radio stations, which you can watch right here as well. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.